Happy Wednesday, everybody. So I noticed yesterday when I uploaded the video that when I do 2 booklets at a time, it takes quite a while for me to upload it to YouTube. So today what I'm going to do is do 2 separate videos, one for each of tonight's assignments so that it's a little bit easier for me to upload. It doesn't take so long. Anyhow, I hope everybody's healthy and happy today. And so tonight's assignments are, first of all, 5.3, which is community advertising, and it's available on the blog, so you can either download it and answer questions using a Word document or a Google Doc, however you want to do it, and then send it back to me, or you can print it off and do the answers on paper, then scan it and send it back to me. So whichever way works for you, I can work with that. And if you have any questions for me, make sure that you're emailing and asking me. Anyways, moving on. So 5.3 is community advertising. And there's some ad, you're going to get the handout and it's going to say, look at some ads. It's on the back page. So you have to go back to the second page that says community advertising. I know it's mirrored here. You can't actually read that. But anyhow, look over the ads. And what you're going to do is look at each of the ads. And they're the kind of ads that you would see in the community, maybe not ours, but some community. And then you're going to look at the questions that I've got. I've got some things highlighted, like what kinds of informations do you see? And then what do you notice about the design? And by design, we mean how is it laid out? How do they use type? Like, do they use big type, bold type? Is it laid along the side of the advertising? What kind of images? So talk about the design in the second question. And then you're going to skim those ads and put an S beside any ads that are advertise a sale, and then put P beside those that promote a special activity, or you can put an I that reinforce the image of a company or product. Okay, and then look at how do the ads differ from each other. So yeah, I'm going to leave that wide open for you and not lead you down the garden path there. And then what you want to do is put a check mark beside the ad that you consider the most effective. In other words, the purpose of the ad. What is the purpose of the ad? Remember, we talked about purposes of writing earlier in the term. And then, so you want to say pick the one ad that you find is the most effective, and then explain why that one is the most effective. At the bottom of the page is a little bit of information on suggestions on how to skim ads. And so the flip side of that first page is just the ads. And then the next, you're going to look at analyzing the format. So you have chart there, and it's for each of those ads. Across the top you have for each of those ads, and then the categories are the things you're going to answer. So the first ad is auctions. So you can see it. I'm going to show it to you. It's here's backwards for me, so I'm having a little trouble with it. Auction. And then you're going to go down and say, who is the audience? And remember, I've talked about audience before. An audience is never, ever, ever a general audience, because general audience would mean everybody that is 1 second old to 107 years old. And nothing that is in any of these ads is going to appeal to that large of an audience. So you do want to think about who is your audience. So specifically, sometimes it's an age group. Be careful with that though. Don't overgeneralize and say, oh, garage sales are only for older people, because all kinds of people go to garage sales. But primarily, who would be going to garage sales? Maybe somebody looking for something specific. It doesn't necessarily have to be an age group. It might be an interest group. So think about who is that ad appealing to, and that's who the audience is. And then the purpose. What is the purpose of the ad? Right? Do you want to get someone to do something? Are you trying to entertain them? What is it? And we talked about purposes before. And then you have the design. What does it look like? How is that ad laid out? What kind of visuals are in that ad, if there are any? And then text. And remember, there can be visuals without, maybe it's more design, I guess, but there might not be. I think there's one of the ads does not have any visuals in it at all. And then just follow the two parts to question 2. And on the bottom there on page 67, there's an extending about finding 3 ads. I've got don't do on that. It is scanned that way on the blog as well. So if you had a handout, then I'm telling you this, and if you scan it on the blog, it actually says on the paper to not do that. And then you're going to write an information paragraph outlining the features of an effective ad. Okay, so what is an information paragraph? It tells you about facts and information, and the sort of standard paragraph, topic sentence, supporting details, and a concluding sentence. So it doesn't have to be that long, but it does have to have those things. And state what the paragraph is about in the topic sentence. Please do not use my paragraph is about. Take those words out, my paragraph is about, and you will likely have your topic sentence without those words. The topic sentence should never say, my paragraph is going to talk about. Generally, paragraphs are not talking to me. So, but please do not use the words my paragraph in a topic sentence. That's a very poor topic sentence when you're using them. So follow the rest of the instructions that are there. And then, so you're going to write about an information paragraph, what are the features of an effective ad, and then you're going to create an ad. So just follow what's below there. And there's a portfolio checklist, but it's not, you don't have a portfolio, so you're just doing the checklist in terms of creating that ad. So that brings you to the end of 5.3. Remember, again, if you have any questions, make sure to email me, bwalker@ffsd.mb.ca, and I will upload the next instruction video for 5.4 following this one. But I just want to let you know I still miss you guys, and I know tonight is the last night before spring break, and the week following spring break there still is suspension of classes, so we'll be doing things the same way as far as I know, and hopefully I'll see you sooner rather than later, but we have to do our best to socially distance and wash our hands and stay healthy.